Hi everyone. I decided to make this brief video about the Chapter 1 paper because I was getting questions from several of you that led me to believe that perhaps the assignment was not as clear as I thought that I made it. So just a brief overview of that paper assignment, and hopefully it will help you to understand better what I'm trying to get you to do. First of all, make sure that you read the chapter. Also, make sure that you watch the overview of Chapter 1. It's a video lecture. It's there, and let me share. Well, you can already see, here's the Chapter 1 overview that I created. It's a video overview. Also, as I said, make sure you read the chapter. So I should have said that in the assignment. And then we're looking here at the assignment. You see it says, for this assignment, analyze social media. And I just want you to analyze the social media platforms. Okay, so not TV and books and movies and all those other things, just social media platforms. The various ones, you probably know all of them far better than I do. And I want you to use those three perspectives that are introduced in that first chapter: the functionalist perspective, the conflict perspective, and the symbolic interactionist perspective. And so what you're going to try to do, and I tried to make this clear in the prompt, but I guess it wasn't as clear as I had intended. From the functionalist perspective, what you're going to do is you're going to try to apply the functionalist perspective to social media. So remember, functionalist theorists believe that if something exists, it exists for a reason. There's something beneficial or there's a purpose that thing serves because humans created it. So from a functionalist perspective, you should be focusing on what positive or beneficial purposes do the various types of social media play in our lives. There must be some benefit, otherwise there wouldn't be this proliferation that we have seen of various social media apps. So from a functionalist perspective, what's purposeful or beneficial? How do they improve the use of these social media platforms? How do they improve our lives? Then from a conflict perspective, what you're thinking about is, remember, conflict theorists, they're much more critical. And yes, they focus on inequality, but they also focus on power and how power is used. And that often results in inequality. So from a conflict perspective, you should be thinking about how social media is used in ways that maybe advantage some people, disadvantage other people. How does social media sometimes perhaps even have a negative influence on society? What might be some of those ways that social media it causes more inequality, or it is disadvantageous to some people? And then finally, from a symbolic interactionist perspective, you want to think about how symbolic interactionist theorists focus on that it's a micro perspective. So it's very focused on interaction, how we interact with one another, and how our interactions with one another influences our own behavior. And so if you read Chapter 1, what you hopefully understand is that our behavior changes depending upon what social environment we're in. So think about how if you're at work, your behavior is one way, but when you're with your friends, now your behavior is probably different. If you're with your family, maybe it differs yet again. And if you are in a class, then yet again your behavior is different. And so for symbolic interactionist theorists, they're going to be focused on how does social media influence or shape or change the way that we interact with one another. And I'd like you to think here about, say the last 15 years, because it's 2022 right now. 15 years ago would have been 2007. That was when Facebook was first founded or started for use by others. And now, of course, Mark Zuckerberg and now unknown co-founder, started it at Harvard for use on campus. But eventually, by 2007, it became this fledgling social media platform that began to be used by people, Facebook. So that's what I'm trying to get you to do here in this assignment. I'm trying to get you to think like a sociologist. I want you to explain how, from these three sociological perspectives, each of them would have a different analysis of social media. Okay, so that's it for this brief video about the Chapter 1 paper. I'm going to change the due date to Friday, which would be, I think it's September 3rd, whatever Friday is. I believe it's September 3rd, just to give you a little bit more time, since I was not as clear on this assignment as I thought I was. So if you have any questions, please email me. If I need to, I can set up a Zoom meeting to go over this in more detail with you if you feel that you need that. But I do hope this helps. Bye.